Hello. Whoop, that's Lorelai. She's messing up the shot. Okay. Hi. Hello. My name is Sarah. I'm a knitter based in North Florida, and this is my very first attempt at filming a knitting podcast. In Florida, knitting is not that popular of a hobby considering how warm it is. And so I've met a few people and I have some friends that knit, but a lot of, the sense of community comes from watching the knitting podcasts and, feeling like I'm part of a knitting group online. And I just sort of wanted to, contribute to that, talk about what I'm working on. So the theme for today's Little Knitty podcast is Summer Knits, Past, Present, and Future. Because I'm a knitter based in Florida, it's so hot. It's not worthwhile for me to make a lot of mohair sweaters or thick, chunky knits. So really, summer fibers is my forte, and I have a backlog. So we're just going to go through those today, what I have made, what I'm currently working on, and then what I plan to make in terms of summer knits. I also have an acquisition that I'm slipping in here because it's not really summer fiber or summer knit related, but I did get it on a summer trip, so I think that counts. So I'm just gonna go through my summer knits, past, present, and future. Okay, so my first finished summer knit is what I'm currently wearing. This is the Pie Camisole by Crea Studio. I made it in Rowan Summerlite 4-ply in the color Pickles, so I call it my Pickles Pie Camisole. I really like this sort of ribbed neck detail, and it's mirrored on the back. This is something I wear all the time. You do have to wear a modified bra situation. I do use like stickers when I wear this, just because it is like, it cuts in here and normal bra straps would sort of be sticking out. I've seen other people online just have their bra straps out, but I'm kind of picky about that, so stickers it is for me. I've also made another one of these, so this is my other one. This one's a little bit, oh, it's really creased. Sorry, it was folded. This is my second one. This one is also in Summerlite, Rowan Summerlite 4-ply. It's in the color Seashell, just as breathable. I just made this a little bit longer because this one is pretty cropped, so you have to wear pretty high-waisted pants with it. But this one, I've tried to make it a little bit more of a regular length. Again, great summer knit. It is a fingering weight garment, so it does take a little time, but it's really easy back and forth stockinette, so comfortable to work on, in my opinion. Okay, moving right along, I'm just going to keep going through this pile. We'll just go in order of the pile. It's not going to be chronological. They're all summer knits. Okay, so next up is my Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter. I love this pattern so much. I love color work, and that's not something that's traditionally used in summer garments, but I will find a way, and so will Caitlin Hunter. This is a fingering weight top knit on 3.25 millimeter needles, so smaller, but a little bit larger than the trend here, which is about that 2.75 millimeter because of the color work. It's a top-down round color work yoke. I used, again, the Rowan Summerlite 4-ply. You're going to see a pattern here. I love the Rowan Summerlite 4-ply. This is the color, let's see. This is the color Pepper Pot. So it's a grayish color. And then the contrast color for all of the floral detail is Hedgehog Fibers Twist Sock in the color Love Letter. It's this beautiful, like variegated, speckled, hand-dyed lavender color. And I just love this one. I love this lace detail. I love the beautiful alpine color work motifs. It's just a lovely pattern. It was lovely to work up. I am obsessed with color work, and I think it's a summer garment. Thoughts on this one? I made the size 1 because I was worried that I didn't have enough of that Rowan Summerlite Pepper Pot color, which I definitely did. I ended up with extra after making the size 1. This is definitely a small top. It's a tight-fitting top, I would say. Maybe baby tea energy, but I don't care. I don't care. The color work is beautiful. The colors are beautiful. Maybe I'll undo this bind off and make it a little bit longer eventually, but it's long enough if I don't raise my arms, so it's fine. All right. Next up in the pile, we have the Sunday Tea by Petite Knit. This has grown a lot. I used the Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino on this. This was the color Blueberry Ice Cream. It's a gorgeous color. Again, it's like a periwinkle color, matches my water bottle. This took a while. This did take a while. This is a fingering weight pattern knitted on 3mm needles, which is fine for me. I know some people love their chunky knits, love their even DKs. For summer, for Florida, it's fingering all the way. So again, this one does take a while, but I love a fingering weight knit. I think it's so gratifying. I think it's so clean looking. Just beautiful. There's a folded hem on the neckline. I'll show you here. There's that folded hem. There's also a folded hem down here at the bottom. There's the inside. These were not in my Ravelry notes. I wrote sewing those hems was painful. So again, I do love this one. It's so gorgeous. I'll have a little try on over here. It's a beautiful color. It's not in my palette, but I don't really care what's in my palette. I have red hair, so they're gonna tell me I can't wear pink and stuff, and too bad. I wear pink and purple. It's beautiful. I do love it. It is comfortable. That Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino is so breathable. It's great for summer weather, but I know, I'm sure you've heard of it before. It's a pretty well-beloved yarn, but some of the Petite Knit esque tiny details of folded hems. Oh, there's folded hems on the sleeves as well. They kind of take it out of you a little bit, but it is a beautiful finished product. I love this one. I highly recommend this one. Good times. Next up in the pile is another pattern by Petite Knit. This is the June Top Light. It looks so wide, but it fits me really well. I do wear this one a lot. This was not fun to knit at all. I was very bored. This is in the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. I believe it's in the color Pink Daisies. Yeah, this is the color Pink Daisies. This took me a while. I did not like making this. I made the extra small, and you can see that it is pretty cropped. Just like my other tops, honestly, it's pretty cropped, but most of this pattern is knitting a tube. You just go around and around and around on tiny little needles. Let's see, 2.5mm needles on this one. So like a sock size needle for this one, which does create a nice, like, it is an opaque fabric, which I would prefer. The Knitting for Olive Pure Silk is a little bit thinner than some of the other fingering weight yarns, like Merinos, that have a little bit more plump. So it is good that you size down the needles to that 2.5 gauge, but it takes a long time. I did modify this pattern. The original pattern does ask for an I-cord edge on both the bottom and the neckline and the armhole. I've done a double knitted edge for all of these. I had never done an I-cord before, and I just wasn't keen on learning anything new because I wanted this top done so bad. So I just went for a double knitted edge, which I like. I think it makes the straps a little bit wider. That is the June top by Petite Knit. All right, next up is the Basic Boat Neck Tank by True Summer Knits. I love this top so much. I finished this top recently and it shows because I cherished this. I'm not sure why. I think it's because it's so simple yet so refined. Like there's such minimal embellishment to it. I just love this beautiful boat neck shape. It's so flattering. I did modify the pattern a little bit. You're supposed to do an I-cord bind off, but I went for a little bit of ribbing. I made this top in Bad Sheep Yarn Basic Sock Fingering. I bought this at Fuzzy Goat in Thomasville, Georgia. Fuzzy Goat is the closest thing I have to a local yarn store. I do have to cross state lines to get there, but I don't care. It's beautiful there. I have so many beautiful yarns from there. Every time I go there, I leave with something I never expected. Everything I get there is so luxurious and beautiful, and this is definitely a reflection of that. I believe this colorway is called Murex, and just look at it. It's this beautiful light pink with all these different little colors in it. I just love the blues and browns in it and the little flecks and speckles. I just love wearing this so much. Okay, so this is 75% merino and 25% nylon or polyamide, so basic stock yarn. I made this whole top with just one skein. That's kind of why there is ribbing on the bottom, is because I had no idea if I had enough yarn to do the I-cord edge on the neckline, armhole, and the bottom, so I just went for ribbing and played yarn chicken, and I guess I won. It's cropped like my other tops, but you know, I can wear it with my high-waisted work pants, so it's not too short. If you can wear it with high-waisted work pants, it's not too short. This was such a joy to knit. I knitted up so quickly. It's on 2.75 millimeter needles, and it took me like just under 2 weeks while working on other projects because I always have more than one thing going. So that shows you how much I love this pattern. I'm thinking that anytime I find another beautiful hand-dyed sock yarn, I'll be making another one of these single skein basic boat neck tanks. Okay, next up is something that I feel like is circulating a lot in YouTube knitting podcast world. It's the twist loop top by Other Loops. This is another incredible top, incredible design. This was my first time doing cables, and now I'm obsessed with cables, so thank you, Other Loops, for that. I made this in the size extra small, and I used 4 skeins of the Hobbii Friends Extra Fine Merino in the color Dusty Rose. Again, it's another dusty pink, similar to that last top, little bit dustier than the last top. But this yarn is so nice for being from Hobbii. No hate to Hobbii, it's just, I feel like it's not as good as some of the other, you know, boutique yarn brands. But it's so soft. This merino has such a cooling feel. That's why this is a summer top. Of course, it is made of wool. This is 100% merino, so it is not the best if you're going to be outside all day, but I wear it to work. I work in air conditioning, so it works for me, and I think it's a summer top because it's so breathable and it's just so lovely. Look at the cable detail. I mean, come on. Some information on the pattern. It is worked up on 2.5 millimeter needles. So again, this is like a sock needle size garment. This one did take me a while because the cables do slow you down and the working back and forth slows you down a little bit. But I have made 2 of these. My mom saw this one and requested that I make her one, so I'll insert a picture here. I made her one in the Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in the color Dusty Whale. She loves it. It looks so good on her. So this top looks good on everybody. This is a pretty heavily modified version of the top. I followed the modifications of somebody else that I saw on Ravelry. I did not make the straps nearly as thin as Other Loops suggests you should. I cast on 20 stitches for each strap instead of 10, so they're essentially double thickness. There's also supposed to be an I-cord finish on the armhole of this top, and I did another double knitted band. I like the look of double knitting. I think it's really clean, and I did really want to make sure there was bra coverage on this, and there absolutely is. So making those mods worked for my needs. I also got rid of the double folded collar and just went for a double knitted band as well, just because I wanted this to be a summer knit, and a double folded collar is not really a summer knit. Double folded merino is too hot and too thick, so double knitting it is. Okay, so that was summer knits past and on to summer knits present. This is where I'll talk about my current whips or works in progress that are summer knits. Most of my whips are summer knits. I have one, it's the Olga jacket. It's taking a while. It's on the back burner for all of my summer knits, so let's get into them. First, we'll pull from the strawberry bag. So this is what we have of my Oilia top. It doesn't look like much. It really looks too small, but I tried it on recently and it does fit well. We've joined in the round and I'm just doing the princess seam decreases. You can see all my little stitch markers for all my princess seam spots. There's hair, sorry, princess seam spot. This is the Oilia top by Tamara Jordan, or Starcross Knits. This is my first pattern by her, and I think she might be a genius. It's so beautiful. It's so classy and refined, and just down to the shaping and the customizability. You can alter the pattern for different bust sizes, different waist sizes, different hip sizes. I love this pattern so much, but more than the pattern, I love this yarn. This is also yarn from Fuzzy Goat. Let's see, this is more Bad Sheep. This cake is a mess. It's so slippery, but this is 100% Mulberry Silk by Bad Sheep Yarns. I've gotten all of the Bad Sheep yarns that I've ever had from Fuzzy Goat, so bless them. But it's in the color Georgia Peach Sangria, and I couldn't help myself. It's the most summery, beautiful blend of colors. There's pinks and oranges and yellows. Let's put this back in the bag. I'll show you in the knitted fabric up close. It's so soft. It's so shiny. I cannot wait to do the lace in this. I think it will really shine. This is also on 2.75 millimeter needles, so this is a slow one, but it's just working with this yarn. It's like the summer fiber version of all the people who just love wool. This is just so soft and springy. It's not like the knitting for Olive Pure Silk. It's much softer. Maybe that's because it's mulberry silk. I don't really know what mulberry silk is, but I love this yarn and I love this project. Here I am just admiring it. Yeah, this one is taking priority right now. I really want to wear it soon, but I know that lace is probably going to slow me down. I'm not the biggest fan of lace, so we'll see. I haven't really had too many problems with this one. I'm making this size 2, and I do think my gauge is a little small, but I tried it on and it does fit and it doesn't stretch too much, and it is silk, so I'm hoping that it'll probably stretch a little bit and then the gauge will even out with blocking. We'll find out. Updates on that in the future, I suppose. But yeah, this pattern is gorgeous. I'm repeating myself too much. Everybody that makes her patterns talks about how brilliant they are. So I highly recommend this one. I'm going to make the little cap sleeve version because I have a lot of tank tops. So it'll be nice to have a little cap sleeve princessy little princess top. Okay, on to my next work in progress in the little sheep bag. This one is kind of dormant and it is kind of a summer knit. Show you what I have so far. This is what we have. Here it is up close. So this is the Mento Tea by Magdalena Parker, or Knitonomy on Ravelry. It is an all-over cabled tee. I'm working on this little back panel. It's so slow. I love it. It's very beautiful, but it's all cable. And it is very slow for me. That's why it's sort of hanging out here while I work on my, silk princess top. This pattern is knit up on 3.5 millimeter needles, so a little bit bigger for those cables to let them breathe. Whether this is a true summer knit is debatable. I am making this in Emma's yarn, Practically Perfect Sock, so another sock yarn. This is 80% wool and 20% polyamide or nylon, so has a little bit more wool content than that Bad Sheep yarn, sock yarn. So this will probably be a little bit warmer, and you can see by like the little bit longer sleeves in the pattern that This could be a fall top, but this color that I chose looks like a swimming pool, and I just feel like this qualifies as a summer knit because it's so vibrant and just so like excitable and fun. I got this yarn at the Craftivist on a trip to Atlanta. I'll insert some pictures from the Craftivist here. That store is so beautiful. I wish that I lived closer. I do live closer to Fuzzy Goat, so at least I have Fuzzy Goat. But the Craftivist was just lovely, and everybody there was so sweet. They had a little knitting circle, and I wish that I lived there so I could join, but I had to go home that day. So I just picked out this yarn. Again, it's that Emma's Yarn brand. It's Practically Perfect Sock. I believe this colorway is called Closet Monster. It's mostly blue. It has some flecks in it. They caked it up for me there. Very sweet. But I have 2 skeins of this, so it should be enough to make that t-shirt. I'm planning on shortening the sleeves a little bit because I don't know if I want it to go all the way to the elbow like the pattern recommends. We'll see. But yeah, more updates on this eventually. It is slow going, but I do really enjoy it. I love cabling, and this will be beautiful this summer or this fall or next summer, who knows. But honestly, Florida's so warm that I could probably wear this in the winter. So whenever this is done, I will wear it and I will be excited to share it with you. So that is that. On to the next work in progress. So my next work in progress is not with me. It is my second ranunculus by Midori Hirose. We all know it and love it, so I'm not going to go into the pattern details too much. This whip is living at work because I've knit the ranunculus before. I'm very comfortable with it, so it's just easy to knit on when I have a little bit of free time at work. I'll insert the picture of the progress here. I'm knitting it in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the color Pea Shoots. I'm holding it double-stranded just to try and use up all 3 balls that I have. So it's going to be less sheer than my first ranunculus. My first ranunculus was in 2 strands of mohair, so I didn't present that one today because it is in 2 strands of mohair, so it's not really a summer knit, it's more of a fall knit. But yeah, this one is going to be a little bit thicker, brighter, green and summery. Green is my color, so that's why I chose that. But yeah, I'm working on that as well. Okay, and now for summer knits of the future. We are diving into my Ravelry queue. This really isn't that long. There's only 2 more summer knits on my Ravelry queue since I've made quite a few in this summer season. So I only have 2 more to share with you, but these are things that are in my queue. I have yarn ready for them. So let's just get right into them. Okay, so first is the Lyra Tea by Irene Lynn. This is another fingering weight project. It's knit on 3.5 millimeter needles, and I first saw this on Knitting with Ev. Ev from Knitting with Ev here on YouTube. She made the Lyra Tea in this beautiful bluish color, and I picked up more Bad Sheep yarn. This is the sock yarn again in the color Aquamarine. It's another 75/25 Superwash Merino nylon blend. I picked this up also at Fuzzy Goat. I have 2 skeins. Here's the beautiful bluish color. I picked this up with no real plan. I picked this up at the same time as I picked up the other skein of sock yarn that I made the basic boat neck tank out of. And this just didn't have a destiny. And once I saw the Lyra Tea on Ev, I knew that this is what this was for. This also is a tee with a bit longer sleeves. I found somebody on Ravelry who has modified it to have a little bit shorter sleeves and a little bit longer length. It is a very cropped top. I've made a lot of very cropped tops, as you've seen, so I'm going to make it hopefully a little bit longer and the sleeves a little bit shorter, following that person's modifications in this beautiful, lovely aquamarine color. Will I get to this summer season? I'm not sure. But it's warm quite often here in Florida, and it really doesn't get cold until late November. So I should have plenty of fine weather to wear a wool tee in. So I'm really looking forward to this beautiful Lyra tee in this beautiful aquamarine yarn. And then my second future summer knit on the queue is the Cellwood Tea. This is another pattern by Caitlin Hunter. It's knit on 4mm needles. It is knit bottom up, which I don't usually enjoy, but the lace pattern is too good to pass up. And I've been sitting on this unicorn solid from Hobbii in the color, let's see, what color is this? Oh yeah, they don't do colors. It's color number 27, but it's a beautiful sort of tealish color, little bit dustier. It's definitely in my color palette. And I really want to use this for that Cellwood Tea. I have another skein as well. I love that beautiful like leafy floral lace pattern, and I think that this color will suit that well and suit me well, honestly, even though it is wool. So I know I'm using a lot of wool for the rest of these summer knits, but they're breathable and I love them. And I work inside again, so, you know, wool works for me. I thought I saw something. So I'm hoping to get that one in before the end of this summer season, before I'm just itching to make cardigans again. So we'll see. I'll update you eventually. Okay, we are almost to the end of this. I don't really know how long this is going to be. I've never done one of these before. I hope this is entertaining you. We'll see if I'm completely embarrassed and trash all of this, but who knows? Maybe I'm not half bad at it. We're almost to the end of this first knitting podcast for me, and I am sort of going off the beaten path with this little segment. I do want to do a little acquisition section and a little future plans with the acquisitions. It's not a summer knit, so it's not on theme for this video, but I don't care. Just this past week, I went and visited my parents in Western North Carolina, and I was able to make a stop at Pearl's Yarn Emporium in Asheville. It's an adorable store. It is so whimsical and lovely and just so creative. There's such a childlike sense of wonder about knitting in the store. It's not like other stores I've been to that are really curated and maybe could be seen as stuffy potentially. This place had like knit toys and like there was a globe that was knit, and the owner or co-owner designed the pattern himself and was selling kits. And I really do stick to garments because I have the most motivation to finish them. But if I was gifted that little globe kit for Christmas, I would not be upset. So yeah, it was just a really beautiful store. They had an incredible selection too. It was hard to decide, but I did go in with a plan because I'm not allowed to buy things anymore that I don't have plans for. And I've really been wanting to knit the novice cardigan by Petite Knit. I'm using the mohair edition pattern because I wanted to knit a DK weight, but I don't want a mohair sweater. I have one and I only got to wear it for like a week and a half last winter because, again, it's so warm here. So I really can't do mohair too much. I can on special occasions, but I can't rely on it as much as people in other climates. So again, long story short, I was looking for a DK weight and I was looking for a neutral because I do tend to make a lot of colorful projects. That's what I prefer. So I was really looking for a more neutral color for this cardigan. And here's what I have found. I got, oh, it's coming apart. Okay. So this is Malabrigo Arroyo in the color Pearl 10. It is a sport / DK weight yarn, and it is this like beautiful, it's kind of eggplant colored. I would consider it a neutral because it does have like brown and gray undertones in my opinion. So this counts even though it is somewhat purple leaning. But that's just who I am. This is as close as I can get to a neutral. So I went in looking for a brown and I left with a purplish, you know, aubergine color. But I think this is going to make a really beautiful novice cardigan, and I'm really excited to cast this on. I'm thinking about potentially casting this on tonight after I finish filming this video. It's not a summer knit. I have a lot of works in progress, but I'm so excited about it. It's so soft. We'll see. updates on this on my Instagram and potentially in future videos. Also from Pearls Yarn Emporium, I got these little stitch markers. It's a set of 6. I believe 4 of them are on my Oilia top. These are the other 2. They're all little, they're the little clasp kind, and they're all labeled after different kinds of wool. So even though I knit in summer fibers a lot, I do still appreciate the different types of wool, and I am hoping to go to some fiber festivals sometime in the future. So this has got me excited about that. All right, well, if you made it to the end, I really am grateful that you entrusted me with your time. I hope you got some good knitting done. I always get some good knitting done when I watch these knitting podcasts. I've linked my Ravelry and my Instagram in the description box. I'll also link all of the patterns mentioned in this video down in the description box. They should be roughly in order. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment telling me what you're working on. Again, I have lots of whips. I know you all do too, so I want to know what you're working on so we can have a little bit of knitting community in the comments section. That would really mean a lot to me and be really exciting to engage with people on the internet. So thank you again, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, happy knitting.